ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pannonian Avars series, in which we will continue with the nation building. Even though this nation was built by conquest, as we have said in the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago, where I mentioned that yes, we are strong militarily, but economically we are weak, and we're still trying to improve upon it. And plus, I kind of figured out the plans of how to get more innovations faster. Because as we know, we are still missing 2 in order to reach the early medieval era. And there are a few cultures that is already in the early medieval era and already has its innovations, such as the Greeks. Which fortunately we only controlled one area, Kerch, which is still culturally Greek. But the acceptance of it is still way too low. Despite the fact that we have culture blending and current acceptance isn't good. But fortunately, the Nicoletta, whom we helped her put on the throne way back when, is open-minded. So that means there's some degree of cultural acceptance progress. So that's what kind of gives me the idea of why don't we hybridize with them? But you cannot create it because the culture sex is less than 40, which is going to take a long time. And plus, even if you were to do that, you would discover innovations that you do not have yet. The other alternative is to go after the smaller culture that is a little further down in the Balkans. Not like this down, but further to the southwest. The Dalmatian culture, which diverged from Greek back in 879, that's over 100 years ago, where they still have some of the things that came from them. And it would be much easier to hybridize them due to their smaller number of the culture. Even though it's only 2 counties, so it would be much easier. Plus, technologically, they're on par with the Greeks because of who they were. But of course, to do that, you need to expand through Slavonia, Croatia, and parts of Dalmatian Thessalonica, held by the Despotate of Thessalonica. Even though I am against the idea of expanding big time unless you could come up with quick ways to end the wars, but fortunately they're not far from where we are. But if you need to do that, you need to fabricate claims, but we can't do that because that would take it in a 30 and a half. Plus, it's not skilled enough. He's not skilled enough to make it happen. But we'll remain patient. We'll just do it ourselves. But I'll tell you what, after we get divided attention and then become an architect, I will put a hold on a wealth focus and just go to learning for some scholarship focus, and get this, and then get back to wealth to get all these things. That is my plan. Wants to forge a crown. Well, let me tell you something. No, not that screen. This one. Yeah. This old Avar crown. Yeah. Goodness, why is it so expensive to repair these days? But to be fair, you're feudal, you're not tribal anymore. You're gonna keep reminding yourself of such things. But you know what? Do fund the inspiration. That new crown better be good. Come on in. And I don't have to invest in much of the way of gold. You can hold a court at any given time. But we'll do that in a second. No longer master of the horse. you as my steward. You'll have it. You're the best steward around, in fact. Yeah, if we wanted cultural acceptance of the Greeks so we can hybridize with them. Originally, my plan was to hybridize the Latch culture. But innovations-wise, well, they're not quite what we thought we are. But I do really like some of its traditions. I do really like some of theirs. Or for me, I feel it would be much more easier to go this way and head to Dalmatia. Unless you know somebody that has a claim and you want to bring a guy to court with, but you don't have that ability to make friends now, do you? There's already some landed people. That's what invite claimants are for. Lately, my efforts to impress have fallen flat. My friendship with Mayor Labatam is still standing on shaky ground. It's a mess. However, I got a brilliant idea. I'll have my beneficiary Pelagia to add a dedication masterpiece she's making. A flattered dedicated. We deeply touch my generosity and will have no choice but to like me more. Nah. No need to make friends here. I'll find other ways to impress whomever I want. Not some lowly mare. My friend Krovat stops me in the hall with a beaming smile. Ah, there you are, Organa. I just spoken to Pelagia. I was just trying to forge a crown for you. I couldn't resist the visitor's shop. I talked about it. Meet your expectations, and I think you'll like the results. Might be a slightly lower quality. It can't be good. Keyword might. Needs a little more. My lord, look at that metal. I've never seen such fine quality before. My beneficiary, Pelagia, breaks away from our market process to cost the merchant selling Khagan. The static overfine. With this, my project would reach new heights. I could create something truly marvelous. Please, my Khagan, bestow this gift upon me. Let me see. Well, your project is worth investing in. It's supposed to slightly lower, but will be of a higher quality. It better damn well be. Because I'm looking to replace that old crown. He just drank himself to death. That drunk. Oh, good God, no. My old brother. We'll work on it. Took a drink. Distracted by affairs of court, I light news from my metalsmith led you to be delayed more and more. Now weeks of work on my crown have been wasted. It seems not entirely to blame. I'm told Palladium has constant mood swings, the worst of which would undo all of her hard work and frenzied self-dominating. Unless I demand that she leaves club for me. So you lost some progress. Ah! It's not going to affect quality, but I'll say that because I'm saving my money for this. I know what you're doing your best. I know you're doing your best, Pelagia. That's what I get for being arbitrary. When you tell her it's like, to be a best. Whereas for me, I would have been like, get out. But that would not be the best choice. Khagan or peasant, high or low, it does not matter. In the end, we're all mortals. I was reminded of this. I woke coughing in the early morning hours, a dull ache pounding up through my head and throat. You seem to be under the weather, my lord. I know a fair number of suitable remedies. Well, good thing I took those berries that I bought. Do no more was necessary. Khatun came to my chambers and offered me a draught, which was yellow in color. She told me to pinch my nose as I drank it. When the tepid liquid passed my lips, I almost immediately spat out again. I demanded to know the contents of the cup, and she revealed it was a fresh urine from a pregnant sow. The porcine waste turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms are alleviated, and the world seemed a little brighter. Good on you. But now I had something on my mind. Regarding my children. Yes. Why, I should be the one to educate you. Whereas you're going to be more into intrigue. Just what I need. He'll always give me money. I mean, if the Greeks are not going to get money from it, I know I will. I will use this wealth wisely. Yes, to build those carvers' guilds. Help with the development of the country. Every little bit helps. Especially here that's still currently under construction. Especially when I get around to build more cities here. That's something we should do next, the next time I ask the head of faith for gold. As a reminder, 14 years for public works. here, my lord. My beneficiary pledger waves me over to Wycran. I have toiled many days and nights, and finally, my work is done. She presents me with an object wrapped in cloth as I live. In fact, my eyes grew up. A beautiful crown of very fine craftsmanship. The crown is forged from electrum and adorned with an intricate filigree that frames the large emerald centerpiece. Compare and contrast. The old Avar crown, that's for prestige and slightly reduced building construction cost, versus this. It actually gains more monthly prestige, but powerful vassal opinion up a little bit. I'll keep this for now. Actually, since that crown is kind of near and dear to me for many generations, you know what? Since you still got plenty of money, can you turn this to a pedestal item? So that way I can have these for passive effects. I'll put this new crown on. Put him here. Actually, there is a view for that, where you can get a closer look at that. Here. So that's what that old Avar crown looked like. Whoops. Hang on. Put that back. Can't put it anywhere else but here. There's a pedestal item. But obviously you can't see it, but it's there. Because that's learning per level devotion, and that's kind of rather important. Now we need a little more wall ornaments. And some more furniture. Hopefully we'll get another inspired person so I don't have to ask people to commission or whatever I request. But that tapestry thing that I did for the previous episode was a nice one. Too bad you can't get rid of him because he permanently lives in the country now. He owns all these baronies. Can't provoke him. He's gonna live here for the rest of the days. About to get this perk. In 2 more years' time, we will have Architect, which will give you a much more reduced building construction and holding construction time and cost. Again, I'm a nation builder. That's gonna be a legacy for this character. No, do something about it. Anyways, I sauntered through between the market stalls of Visegrad, a heavy pouch tugging at my belt. How do I make this coin work for me? As I admire the wares of a local jeweler, exquisite filigree, a sound investment, my Duchess Roxandra suddenly appears at my side. A word of advice, my liege. Have a look at this sculptor's stall over there. Their words might be simple, but their potential is great. Let me look up here. Well, invest in a sculptor's workshop. Alright. Now she's my friend. Very, very good. Great sculptor's workshop investment. There you have it. Holding taxes up even more. Come on in. Let's take the knee. No longer ill. Hey, who wants to be the... Well, figuring you're possessed, so... Okay, yeah. I just needed to hire some new positions. That adds, the executioner. That adds some, grandeur. Double dipping your pay. Give it to the other. That's pretty much it. This is just to only increase the grandeur a little bit. You never know, you'll get up there. And if the income turns grander than I thought it would, then I may have to increase one of the amenities at least. Don't want to be the jester anymore, that's fine. Oh, no? The man just became count, so she's not here anymore. Anyways. Scorned. Why would you honor that bed swerved on metal position court and not me? My wife cut to an is livid. Apparently she had been certain that honor would befall her and no one else. Oh, come off it. You're my wife, not a courtier. Get back to your seat. It would not be wise to, you know, to anger her. She's your wife. Alright, city's finished. Let's have a guild. Oh, without that architect, that construction is going to be an issue. That's a thing you must have. You'll do. In a few months' time, I shall hold court. I figured it's about that time, based on the amount of money that I'll soon have. Always with you with the money. You don't have the greedy trait. You're just a bit arbitrary sometimes, but at least you're honest about it. That's who you are. It's just sometimes you're not as rational as some people you think they were. What still? It's something that must be done. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hold a court here. Come on in. Hawks and doves. My Marshal Count Branimir and my friend, Steward, Duchess Ruxandra, stand in front of me, bickering as usual about the best politics for our country. War is the only way to make a country rich and powerful, states Branimir. Only in peace can a country grow and prosper, retorts Ruxandra. This time, however, they expect me to take a position. And this sounds like the Avar way by saying, our people are proud warriors, not cowardly peasants. But that ain't gonna do. Because we know how expensive war is these days. And we can't afford that anymore, especially a prolonged conflict, be it in the offense or defense. But I will say, only peace can bring us prosperity. So sorry about this, Branimir. Peace is the way. So add more holding taxes for the next 5 years. One would think we're on the verge of a golden age. A child of the court. I am faced with Chicheki Kidar's sad eyes, which grow larger and more pitiful as their grains of Puchera gently ushers towards my throne. Khagan, she laments. The girl has been at Mala's court with no one to watch over since the arrest of her dear papa. Please look to her future. What can be done with such a child? Yeah, I figured why you're wearing like that, because you're ill. Imprisoned by her. No fear, I shall raise the girl myself. Since she's rather charming. Go for intrigue. Although, to be real honest, I'd remove that guardian and give to someone else. Somebody else ought to raise that child. You're good at it. But anyways, royal service. My vassal, Duke Trista, approaches the throne with a middle-aged man in tow. My liege and Khagan responds. My cousin, Taridin Kida, seeks the honor of serving your retinue of knights. Give him the opportunity to prove his quality. Taridin smiles weakly. Though I'm a middling swordsman, and I hope to learn much in your service. We shall see. You may tend me, Taridin, so you'll be a knight. Okay. My business here is done. My goodness. With the grandeur level 8, courtiers who have lived in the local more than 5 years gain a more powerful special tree based on court type. And we're ranked 3rd in the world. Oh, what if we just blow the whole load? hypothetical. Because we're making such great wealth, especially with newer cities that we may build. But monthly renown is great. But let's not, let's not go overboard here. Because I'd like to get it up to 9. Again, let me rethink this, okay? Because I like it with that level 8. But 9 is just very tempting to try to keep it up there. Prestige is always good. This one for health reasons, not to mention get that stress loss all the way down. Complete inspiration quality is a good chance of improvement. Yeah, grand lodgings it is. Just have many servants. Not up there. I like that exotic food. And stylish fashion. And that'll be it. Don't want to go all the way up. And that'll be it. And I only did this because our income looks good now. Sustainable. Until I have more land for myself. But you just wait until I become an architect. And we start building more buildings. Especially farms and all that. But you know what, simply for the sake of it, we're going to introduce a new fashion to the court because, we made it happen. No court can claim to be as stylish as ours. The court's a battleground of fashion, and it's high time made my own effort to establish a new vogue among the nobility. A character at court may attempt to duel me in diplomacy to prevent myself from being implemented. For a new style and class. We shall see about that. Of fashions and feuds. Strut around my court, proud of my new bold fashion-forward statement, questioning why the nobility must dress so differently from the commoners when simplicity is so stylish. What are you wearing? My sister courtesy cries out at me across all. We throw insults back and forth from my self-defending what is obviously good fashion, going far above the head of a simple mind, as the local nobility flock around me, and I could consider my fashion statement to be a roaring success. I always know best. Look at me now. In fact, look around at the whole court. With the ways everybody dressed. Cousin carries a spear. It should be guards carrying spears. As I said, look at me now. Yeah. Anyways. Construction noise. Cartoon, Ileana, approached me with a complaint. Some locals are constructing some new buildings near her house. However, the noise they make is loud and annoying. Construction is technically not on the cartoon's property. She can't do anything about it. Perhaps I can. Let's not have too much issues, shall we? But since I'm a man of high stewardship, I'll say I will discuss with the locals about how they can reduce the noise. As in, Just hammer it with something that doesn't make it too loud. Valued warlike courtier. Ah, that's very good. Can you imagine when my son grows up and he gets this? Can you imagine? You raise her. And I'm only raising her because she's into stewardship, and I would be able to help her out with that. My daughter Akgul has been impressed with one of the household knights for a very long time. After finally meeting in person, she's been repeating the warrior's words to herself. Work hard and you can master anything. Yeah, you got it. Hard work will bring her where she wants. Plus, I only need a razor because in case if some particularly very unusual event that if my son gets assassinated by whatever reason, but not gonna happen under intrigue. But you must learn another language that's rather important around here. Actually, it's a good idea to study Greek. Yeah, it's the Greek language. Escaped my dungeons, Duchess Gunas. Curse you! She's gonna cause issues. Every little bit helps. Again, it has to be a very sustainable income, and this is not sustainable yet. It's still in the works. And plus, my wealth focus is only going to be off temporarily, because soon I will switch to scholarship as for more innovations is concerned. Good herbs. The herbalists and physicians of Aranya has become famous in recent times for its quality of herbal medicines made from various plants, herbs, minerals, and so on that are uniquely native to Aranya. Yeah, we've got to invest to support this important work. You know that's helped me out. Again, I still have that idea in the back of my mind regarding culture hybridization with another advanced culture, such as the Greeks. But at least there's some degree of acceptance, especially to an open-minded woman. Again, it's either Greek or Dalmatian, but since Greek is right here, And if we want to have a cultural acceptance between us and them, it'll take a while. And I do have the prestige for it. But now they call me an architect. Which gives you a little more stewardship, but more importantly, reduction of building construction and holding construction cost and time. Which means, oh boy, we're going to build more cities and temples all over the counties that I own. So that way in turn turns into more income. And more holdings means more development. But for now, we must go away from that and go for scholarship focus for the next 5 years. So I'm only interested in this and this. What's the developmental level there? 8 as compared to 10. Not quite there yet. And since I switched to scholarship focus, then that means this is going to go up a little bit for the monthly development. And if I want to build a city like say here, now it costs you 340. And it'll take you 3 years to get it done. And my friend just died. Good old Krovat. He was the food taster. Just short of it. We need to get a new food taster. And he was the High Monarch too. He was a lot of things. God dang it. You have to do. You can actually hold 3 more counties if you wish. Oh boy. My vassal Duchess Gundes had an extramarital affair with my vassal Kanon Uzgol. Oh boy. I knew these two were bad, but I didn't think they're that bad. This crime cannot go unpunished. Female adultery is terrible. Makes her want to revoke titles so I can hold more lands for myself. Just out of greed. But of course, that also means you gotta get things under control as well. But you know, she's from Moldavia. So that's quite a long way from here. Plus the development of the area, not great. As I said, if I had my druthers... Yeah, I mean, you revolted against me in the past. And I can hold more land for myself. Which again, let me see. You can hold 3, so that would be 1, 2, 3. Including the duchy. But they'll be saying, but that's too many duchies! Oh, give it to me! Get out of here. But nevertheless, it gives us good income. And upon the day of my death, these lands have to be given away. And I'm sure these vassals are mad at me now, because they'll be saying, hey, that's too many duchies. Give one away. Well, let me see. Damn, that's too big. Okay, fine. Where is it? You can have this. And he said, well, then I want to count these too. Well, god dang it, man. Oh, I didn't know you were a Tangrist. Oh, boy. Well, in that case, we're gonna need to start talking to. And get the chance over here. Because I want to keep those lands for myself, just to get more money out of it. Just use the domain limit. Use what you got. Oh yeah, this belonged to the Lord of the Sky. Which I can do that, but it'll cost you a lot of piety for that. Even though I'm Orthodox Christian, he's a Tangrist. What the? I didn't know it's that costly. But, nevertheless. But here it's 100%. Unfortunately, this area is plains, so pastures and crop fields. Not an ideal place for me to develop, but it'll have to do. And if he's got a problem with that, well then he's gonna remain mad at me. Oh, good God. How'd you like to take a court position? God dang it, where is it? Since you're so dang talented. With that newfound income, you can actually... But since you're having control issues, you better get to work on that. And there's some people mad at me, so I want bodyguards as well. There. Now it looks like it didn't make much of a difference with the newfound income you got, but you just wait. You just wait till I make some more investments, including building new cities and temples. The counties I own here, especially in the Avarian heartland. And I'm no longer on wealth focus, but it's only temporary. It'll be till 992, I'll switch back. Just only want a perk or two. May have to hold a feast soon if I ever get really stressed. Recent communication with Duke Okors expressed a want to focus on his ambitions and interests more. I could make sure that our coming letters contain more on the topic close to his heart. Well, he's a forgiving ravener. I believe nothing entices him like a good book, since he's into a very high amount of learning. Him being a herbalist, a scholar, wise man, he's everything. His response, my vassal, I encouraged my slight dip into more personal talks. What a treat that he's also interested in scholarship. So am I. So am I. No, don't be that guy. I was considering, but... I took Akko out playing with the bow, and to my surprise she ran into a wounded doe. Later she lashed out at me, thinking I staged the whole encounter as some kind of test. Oh, I don't like it when you're paranoid. I'll just say, then show me that you felled an animal yourself. Well, I don't think that's a good idea. Stress loss due to being diligent, but stress gain up. But if you could... Well, it's actually less stress gain than with paranoid. So... Yeah. But if you wanted to be sadistic, that would be rather intimidating, and it's also sinful orthodox, but you have to be ambitious. Again, raising my own daughter in case of an unlikely event that my son gets murdered or something, or had a very bad disease. Second best court in the world. First being Byzantine. Corentano, a Franconian hybrid culture. That's right next door. So now you have imprisoned chance increased and a little more monthly renown. Excellent. Not to mention there's many of us living members out there. After a few generations. Now, what's the good issue here? I am enjoying a rare quiet moment between councils when Praxa pulls me inside. My liege, he begins carefully. As your bodyguard, I'm honored to protect you. But he looks down for a moment, then makes a weak but exasperated gesture with his scabbard. How am I supposed to do my job with this old thing? Surely quality's everything when it comes to protecting the Khagan's life. Suspicious. But if I were to please him... I never used this thing, but I suppose I could spare one of my own weapons. Guard of your life. No, no, you use this to guard my life with that thing. Just looking. Very, very tempting to go for customs, knowing that one day we're going to be a Khaganate that would have multiple cultures under it, as we're not a homogeneous one. But fascination progress, it's a must-have. So, but the cash value cost reduction, but keep in mind, increases it each time. Go for language scholars. Now you need this much to get it up there. So now you have more scheme power to learn language, and those old language books that I still have, I'll let it break down because this will take its place. And you can learn another additional language without any penalties. But again, that's for all of us Kunzaka. And gain +1 culture acceptance when you complete the learn language. Now, speaking of which, there is a language I would have to learn, since we're interested in the Greek element here. Yet another daughter who is a genius. Chichepi. That's her name. I know how to pronounce it because I've seen that name before. And now I must learn your language. Because I'm starting to think that idea of culture hybridization with a culture that is more advanced than ours seems like a very good idea. And they're about to get household soldiers. Plus they already have coinage and chronicle writing. Cast a spell at prestige cost reduction. Yep. Originally I had Vlach in mind about this. Nope. It's gonna have to be with them. But I don't know if I really would want to call it Greco-Avar. I mean, what's Greek about us? Like, should we really turn away from bellicose and become more bureaucratic? Because this adds... Well, that might be a good idea after all. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, we don't need that anymore, because we have a dynasty legacy to make up for that. Both of these are destroyed now, so... Put this on, and fix that book. And the abacus. Why aren't you using the abacus? Franco-Franconian. What the heck? Franco-Franconian. Franconian. Franco-Franconian. There's Cardano Franconian. Now, where's that alleged new country? There it is. It's over there in the night. Musical theorists. Oh, and also these guys are also entirely medieval because they... Now the case is stronger to hybridize with the Greeks. Even though we do not have anything in common with Greeks unless we want to emulate them because we're Orthodox Christians like them. Heck, we might as well start speaking Greek as a court language rather than our own. But Bulgaria has now united with Serbia after they've taken that. What's the development level? 9. Dependable donkeys. Oh, it's about to expire by the end of this year. A ruler of this county can take the decision to purchase dependable donkeys. Well, has he? Yes, he did. Recently bought a medium donkey herd. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Well, he has a realm all to himself, so it's his money. He'll spend it what he'll need. Use it when you need it. As mentioned before. We'll get 3 new innovations out of them from that era. So that way we can be on par with them. And I don't know if I want to abandon the old bellicose, because it really served us well, especially with the men-at-arms maintenance, since we have that strong cavalry force. I think I want to keep that in return for some of their innovations that I need, even if we have to fall behind a little. Ah, yes, time to build another city. I figured it's about that time. The city of Tur will be built here. And then we'll build a temple somewhere. Probably up there, because of hills. And of course, build a temple here as well. Each time you do that, orthodoxy is further increased by 1. Because Hevez is the second most developed territory in the Avar heartland. So I want that. Don't forget about these. Yeah, we really swayed him. Now you're gonna behave? Even though he's intimidated. Are you sure, you old broad? Failing to take care of yourself. Your money is no good here. Seriously. Out of all the princesses you have, she is chosen because she is born in the purple. I see. It is not the first time I heard talk of what a great servant Athena is. And now Duchess Ruxandra has sent her to my court. She presents herself as a token of friendship between Ruxandra and me. A little ill, but she can handle herself. Well, you're welcome to my service. The Vlach are nice people. Imp! Say yes. My son knows Greek, and I will know Greek soon. So, he's honest, ambitious, and paranoid. Oh dear. That means he's going to be extremely prone to stress should things not go his way. I fear for him. But fortunately, that would protect him from any possible schemes against him. More than anything, my quest to be a learned man is teaching me how much I do not yet know. What more must be? There must be some knowledge that's been lost to the ages as books fall apart or languages are forgotten. Perhaps I could contribute by making a new translation of one of the classic words. Though what would I even translate? Elements. It's its mathematical treatise. Translating book. If you complete this, you get a learning lifestyle book. Mad scholar. They say a mad alchemist or wizard lives in Comoron, dabbling in dangerous arcana such as trying to find a potion of immortality, or pillaging graves for the bodies of dead maidens to sate his unnatural desires. It is said in his hut are thousands of profane scrolls and potions. However, no such madman can be found anywhere, according to the official authorities. One does worry about the world these days. He must be somewhere. So that's gonna hurt the control growth a bit, but not under my watch. Scientific. Okay, but keep that well in mind. Where? Check the little difference. 9 years for public works. From 9 years to 8 years. That makes a little difference. in which we stated before. Now the case to hybridize these people are stronger. I gotta stop developing that territory. Oh, you've stopped. Because this is about as much as you were able to get it out of it, right? Okay, got a new task for you. We got to accept the culture of the Greeks. Promoting acceptance. And plus I'm about to learn their language. And it seems that my studies of the Greek language has reached the ears of Mayor Innosketios. He is a native speaker and is offering help in my studies. I ask no more than a token of reward of my efforts, Khagan, says, rearranging his shirt. Well, he's a mayor. What the hell is he gonna do with that? So, I'll just say that a favor for a favor? Now, who would want to kill my brother? My translation of the elements is coming along, but one section in the version I'm copying from gives me pause. My scribe insists on the words on the page mean, as we hold 2 feet and spirits rising, edges of hunter. This cannot be. That cannot be right, can it? I could go up with something more fitting. Improved significantly. Alright, after lots of hard work, learned the Greek language, endless hours of practicing accentation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation, it was all worth in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate Nicoletta's accent. I'm sure that she would be impressed with my results. Of course, the Greek prince now respect me a great deal, a little more. Okay, I'm press it. There's your step. So it'll take years to get full success with them. So no doubt it would be up to my son, by the time when I gone, to be the one to form that hybrid culture with the Greek. Oh, you got 2 inspirations. One's Regalia. This other one here is, wants to weave a representation of everyday life. We shall see about that. Pay you some for that. In fact, you too. Double it. You two go to work. There was a commotion among the children today. Chrome was attempting to preach among his fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Akugo intervened and did what she could to protect him. Brave. That doesn't sound like you. You know, stress loss, like you don't get much stress loss. Of course, you might have a bit of stress gain. But if I told you to be calm, then that would have some increase of stress loss. But you would have dread decay. Or I could tell you to be zealous to the Orthodox faith. And those Tengrists would hate your guts. But you being brave, what good would that do? You're not going to be landed. And I am not sure about my son. I mean, sure he's into intrigue, but I fear that he is going to be very, very prone to stress. And there is no way to try to suppress it. Whereas he'll be slightly less prone to stress. And speaking of stress, I'm going to get stressed out. I'm going to give her calm. 1 second. I could go out for a hunt. But if I only had a little bit of 1 second. Too bad none of you are landed. Because I would love to tell you, it's like, hey, pay up. All of you, any of you. Even if I have to get money out of my children. Or anyone else's children. That you pay me money or else. That would have been interesting, right? But that's not going to be. That will not be. Oh, and by the way, you need to learn Greek. It's an important language in these parts. I guess I'm just going to have to take it, right? You're going to have to take it. Pick whatever coping trait you get. Guilt and shame is plaguing me as late. All my sins, my flaws, my failings. These dark thoughts distract me from my responsibilities to keep me awake at night. I feel like I must do something to put the end of this mental anguish. What could possibly help? Oh, don't do that. Also, don't do that. Why would I beat myself up? Not that kind of guy. Plus, it gives me a small bit of prowess loss, which isn't that big of a deal. Plus, you got that penalty reduction injury. Should you get wounded yourself? You know what? That's it. The sting of the lash will excise my sins. I'll beat myself up a little. It isn't that much of a big deal. See? I'm all better from the wounded. What are y'all talking about? See? It negates the penalty. I'm alright. Alright? I just had to lash myself. Such an absurd thing to do. In fact, it goes as far that I'll be willing to do it again. Nothing cleanses my mind like the catharsis of pain. I'll apply the whip to my own back until my mind clears. And you're a renowned physician. Thank you, giant woman. Here we go again. Crack! No, the whip falls upon my back. I shudder at the clarity it brings. Pain is all that I feel. Pain that is all in my mind. Crack! Crack! I'm slapping my own hand just to try to make that sound effect. Sweet, sweet pain. Hey, I heard myself again. Thank you very much, you big lady, you. Oh, now that's a way to get rid of stress for free. Just hit yourself. That'll be the way. But despite all this, I'm still working on a new translation. I find myself working on a translation of the elements for hours, under the flickering lights of a candle, and occasionally hitting myself, which would help me try to have a moment of clarity, or a, oh, what's that word? Of, epiphany. There you go, an epiphany. Often I will barely notice time passing. My scribes remind me, however. My lord, it must be past midnight now. Is it not time to rest? Yes, some sleep will do us all good. What? Why? Why on earth? Is it because of the faith difference? Well, she's all better now. Oh, by the way, do you know my language? Yes, thank you. Butcher is exasperated, cries, swallows a quiet one. How am I to go about forging regalia when my hammer keeps going missing? Ross ordered. My lord, every time I make a bit of progress, something goes wrong. I'm certain that someone at court is tampered with my work. The metalsmith huffs frustrated storms off back towards the shop. Could it be? No. Manar? See to if you can arrest the Templar. After supper, I lay in wait near Patrol's rooms with a handful of guards, watching the passengers as the castle grows darker. Just as I consider giving up, a trembling light dances down the corridor, followed by a cloaked silhouette. A dark figure pushes down the door to the shop and Furry checks the corridor once more. His face illuminated by the flickering oil burner. Mana! I will handle this my own way. He is my brother. I ain't gonna do nothing to him, alright? The deed is done. Alright, you can stop. Go back to domestic affairs. I mean, not just that, rather than foreign affairs. This helps with everything, to keep the Khaganate stable. I am having notes of my translation elements read back to me. When I snap to with a sudden understanding, scribe, add the following commentary. Let me take a drink to that. Honestly, I need the piety, so I will say this. As evident from the will of God. That's the reason. 719 gold? I could build a whole new temple with that. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. With sufficient tutelage, even a child has displayed natural inclination towards colorblind, such as Chrome. Can come to truly understand his uses. It's harder to say, however. Everything that is tested is done by others before he gets to it. It never tells petty lies the way he used to. Perhaps not as clever as I see that an elusive shadow. That's grand, but here's the problem. This character is very prone to stress. He's ambitious and he's paranoid. Thank you very much, you evil, evil man. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the Avar. This is a new one. This is a new ecumenical patriarch who is a Greek and he's delicate. But he's having a medicine focus and he is not a good guy. Praise St. Matthew. Here comes the tax refund. Alright. Hold on a second. Sorry for the sake of it. Build temple here. Build a temple there. Up in the hills. Glory be, more taxes to come. It's going to be quite an investment. And again, that also means my son is unlikely to get assassinated now that he's paranoid. So no one's going to be out to kill him. Not even from his 3 sisters. At least he's going to be the man to inherit everything. But at least he'll remain honest about things. Oh, wait a minute. You know what that means? Like, say, if I were to murder this character. You would gain stress of honesty. Oh, God. That means if he tries to assassinate somebody, he's going to be extremely stressed. The thought about killing somebody would break him mentally. Oh, what have you done? That's what I'm saying to myself. I should have been the one to be his guardian, not to give it to some other guy. That boy's going to be a problem when he runs to Khaganate in the future. Why would I charge for an artifact to get the toys back that I gave him? And if you were to disinherit him, his sisters are going to be taking all these lands. His 4 sisters. They're all going to be scrambling territories themselves. Women running the Khaganate. Can you imagine that? Honestly, she's more qualified than he is. Man's prone to mental break. And she would be a competent steward. Because I'm the one educating her. But anyways, come on in, Duke Bodhi. We had our issues in the past. I am not sure about the succession. Do you want one son who's going to inherit everything, but he's going to be very prone to a mental break? Or do you want the 4 women to be running various parts of the Khaganate? Anyways, I bump into a very grave-looking Matilda, my weaver, hoping she doesn't bring ill news of the splendid tapestries that she soon have ready for me. Oh, there you are, my liege. I've hit a wall on my work. Nothing major. My ideas have gone to the ground as the pressure mounts. I just need some inspiration. Mighty Khagan. Might you have some prior examples I could examine? To the Great Hall. Out with the old. I showed Matilda around the Great Hall, taking pride in its luxury and various riches on display. Cartoon insists on coming and watch us from afar, wincing each time an object's being properly handled or misidentified. The weaver pauses till outstruck, examining my Kunzakal dynasty banner. Ah, very fine, my liege. Use its fabric. What are you going to do with that? Hey, you're just having a look. I do not want you to destroy any of these. You're just going to look at it, and you're going to like it. Wants to forge a crown. No need for that yet. I like my crown that I currently wear. I could imprison you. Desires the county of Liptov? Liptov? Ah. Do something about it. Fight for it. Again, you're a stupid woman, who's also prone to stress. I was thinking about earlier, that whole, I'm just gonna whip myself. Oh, here we go. My translation of the elements finally stands complete. My words rest on beautifully illuminated pages, all protected by a lavish cover, as befits all works of importance. The tome taketh its pride in the place of in my library. Every priest who reads it is mightily impressed with my efforts. Some already speaking and making copies of their own. This effort taught me so much. It's a counselor test, keep that in mind. You should also get open-minded. I mean, there's still time. Matilda insists that the funds I've supplied with are not enough to create an artifact worthy of my stature. With just a bit more gold, I could create something truly magnificent. Yeah, what do you need? Now, the mayor and God Costume. Well met, Liege. I've heard of your patronage of potatoes, the metalsmith. They say it's forging regalia worthy of accounting. Please take this and give it her. I wouldn't want to miss this to aid in the creation of a masterpiece. Poor Angelos have more money than he knows what to do with. Despite the fact that I'm arbitrary, but how generous. Might be of slightly higher quality. Keyword might. Yeah, you could stop at that. Who else I could sway? Who else is an unruly vassal that doesn't like you? Oh, son of a beeswax, that's my son. Who is a genius? Kurt. Well, there is one child that I will disinherit, because she's now at that age where, you know, she will no longer have a childbearing age. Well, here's one we could disinherit. Hate to do this to you. Unless... I think you may have jumped the gun a little. Because you may never know what that boy turned out to be. Yeah, I made a stupid call. How much does it cost? 75. Okay. Now I'll have to remember that. If Kurt, the young Kurt, somehow becomes better than he is, trait-wise, I'm gonna, what's that word? Restore inheritance. I was about to say re-inherit, but that's not a word. Anyways. Oh boy. That is, a large frustrated tapestry of excellent craftsmanship. This cloth depicts serene scenes of everyday life in the fields throughout the year. Some folks sow the field, others plow, others reap the harvest. Oh, here's your renown gain. You'll get it back in no time. This is lovely. This is definitely going to go up. Where to put it? Where to put it? Yeah, I made a mistake. Oh, crud, there's no room. Hang on. Short reign duration, Court Grandeur bonus versus +3 Court Grandeur bonus and have a bit of renown. I could care less about the short reign duration. Put this on. Now look close. Greek Orthodox influence, the way it looks. And also this thing's about to be destroyed. And of course here's my regalia. An ornate regalia set with fine craftsmanship, and it consists of silver scepter, 7 feet, savage, wool cloak that has been embroidered with a silk thread, and a silver cross-bearing orb. Compare and contrast. Fine regalia, which is piety, prestige per dread, versus you got your prestige but and piety. Spouse opinion is the same, but also powerful vassal counselor tax contribution by 1 versus dread. And I do have some degree of dread, so I'm still keeping that old regalia. It's just another to my collection. Again, I will restore your inheritance if you turn out to be better than him. Or I'll restore it, and then I'll disinherit you, because I do not want a son who's going to be prone to mental breaks. That'd be bad for business. And of course, when Kurt grows up to an age of 6, he's got to learn Greek. It's almost as if Greek is going to become the administrative language around here. Save up your money. You may want to spend it as you hold court. Yeah, we don't care about that anymore. Good for you, but be careful with that. You may not live past 60 with that. I received an offer from Mala Akasir, a noblewoman from Visegrad. If the letter is to be believed, she is an experienced herbalist who would be willing to share her knowledge in return for room and board. The offer is intriguing, but I know Patriarch Vatam is distrustful of charms and potions. He believes that Satan used them for his own nefarious purposes. Hey, there's something to learn here. You may call it impious, but I'm always eager to learn something new. I'll become an herbalist. So at least you'll have some disease resistance the next time you get a sickness. Mala and I are spending another late night categorizing plants and brewing potions. As I page you to another one of the worn tomes, I discover a paragraph which would make Patriarch foam at the mouth. Didn't realize you're albino. I don't know about you, but thanks for the herbalist thing. If she's keeping secrets, I will find out. My investigation's inclusive. Huh? Yes. I'll have to be there for this. No Greek. Somebody wants to kill me. Somebody does want to kill me. I'm sure we'll find an agent for this. I suspect you. Or perhaps one of my old rivals. Kruger, maybe. But he is in Tomskut's way out there. In Siberia. Yeah, that's way out in Siberia. You got it. No, thank you. We're doing fine on our own. We're not an isolationist type anyhow. Gotta be open-minded, and you can learn a few more languages if you wish. If you dare. Even if you get stressed, if you're struggling to know more languages, then maybe you should just hit yourself every once in a while. Okay. 0.93. Thanks to Nicoletta and I being open-minded people. But honestly, it would be better if you were to expand through Croatia and Bosnia-Herzegovina to get down to Dalmatia, to have a cultural acceptance with the Dalmatians. They speak Greek down there, do they? Yes. Maybe Greek court language should be a good idea. Just to show our influence of what we've been doing. I did mention that I would like to have Greek as a form of an administrative language. I mean, the Bulgarians had Greek as a court language before they switched to Slavonic. Nope, it's still Greek to them. Well, no other country has that. So, it probably makes some sense that we ought to adopt Greek as a form of it. I mean, after all, you did say you want to form a Greco-Avar culture, a hybrid culture, in order to gain more innovations. That's your ultimate plan. That's what you really wanted. But I think we should do that. It's a bit of a, some would say a controversial decision, but this is another step to it. We have the prestige for it. Again, Byzantine, Thessalonica, and Bulgaria all have Greek as a court language. So, cannot adopt another for the next 5 years, so. May our court grow ever grander. Keep in mind, we still speak Avar, Urga. But now that we know Greek as the court language, then that's how you know. I knew it! But too bad he's all the way in Siberia. Coward. As I'm out for a stroll around the market, a merchant calls me over and insists he has something that would pique my interest. The scent of drying herbs and foreign tinctures overwhelms my sense as I approach the stall. She is rifling through her collections of dusty tomes and other treasures. After some digging, the merchant produces an old book and insists on what I need of what is to come. I need to haggle it. Perhaps we could come to an agreement. God dang it! Spent nearly all of my money to get a book. Disappeared without a trace, as we have a fine book about books. I cannot live without books. As I'm putting away newly acquired fine book about books, a slip of parchment falls on. Upon it are instructions for a practice called bibliomancy, where one might divine their fortune from a passage in a book. All I need to do is open the text to a random spot and read the first fateful verse my eyes might fall upon. Well, since you're the one that spent all that money, you might as well read this damn thing. I follow the instructions to the letter and select a passage at random from a text before me. Shivering with anticipation, I open my eyes and read. Fear is the mind killer. A coward dies 1,000 tiny deaths. Yet a valiant man dies but once. What am I to make of this? My antiquarian cartoon should have a look at this. The passage continues to elude me. It's like 50. For the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around this passage from a fine book about books. It is consuming me. Fear is the mind killer. What could that possibly mean? What should I fear? What am I missing? Perhaps someone else may be able to shed some light on it. My courtier cartoon would help me. I have finally cracked the mysterious passage from the fine book about books and feel much wiser of it. Thanks to that merchant, threads of fate Sunday appear more clearly to me. Fear will be the mind killer, but I face my fear. Without fear, I die but once. Just in case. Because, you know, if you need a physician that could treat you better, especially if you have a habit of hurting yourself, and whatever sickness you may get, don't worry. You eat exotic food and you have an herbalist. Good. Better. Now, what's the gain? Same. My daughter, Akko hovers in limbo between childhood and adulthood. I've taught her enough to understand the truth. She's still young enough to have an open mind. If I want to induct her in the service of one god, it is now or never. No. Witchcraft is criminal, you know. It's not going till January 1st, okay. Then we'll switch back to well focus soon. Back to the way it should be. Is there room? Administrator of the Kingdom. Book about books. As I stated before, there's no need for that. Finally, that old woman kicked the bucket. Intimidated me. It's good to know. Hey! Switch it back. From now on, you will get the perks that's from there. And hopefully, before the end of my life, I'd like to become Avarists. With the genius, fortune builder, abacus of our administration of the kingdom, every little bit helps. In 5 years, in my lifetime, we'll have public works, and then, and whatever it may be, we'll go for it. But at least it's been slightly improved with the average development of Avar counties. Well done. No, no, no. No, god dang it. This one. God dog it. Here. It makes me want to go kill that patriarch and replace it with a new one with a higher skill, but I don't want to be doing that. And my friend just died. Well, if I happen to get too stressed, you know what to do. He surely enjoys subterfuge and intrigue, because that's his thing. Let's speak more. Alright. We'll close this episode with a couple of court-related events. Yeah, we'll be holding a court right after this. Getting a flock of robed men burst in my throne room. I'm hectically searching the floor and uprooting everything from chairs to skirts in frantic search. Khagan Organa, cries one. We are the followers of Vinek the Headless, a great holy man who has been decapitated as part of the prophecy that God gave him at birth. As often happens with holy figures, his head started rolling away. We've been chasing it through the land, and we are soon to roll up to the hillock into your castle. A lunatic? I will not allow a cult to rummage through my court. It's only temporary. You get a size of men-at-arms regiments, but that will not do. Even if I were to do that all the way. But anyways, let's end this episode by holding a court. Dress me, dress me. Before the court is underway, my chancellor pulls me aside. To my surprise, he's brandishing a garish earring. A garish earring? Garish? My lord, there will so many attending your court. I know you are somewhat challenged in remembering every face from whence in Wales. I propose a solution. It will require all the court to wear a dress which includes a local style recognizable to all. He voices snarl at me. Those without clear regional fashions, I've taken the liberty in hiring a tailor who can suggest some new traditional garb for them to wear. Brother. Wow. But I don't have the money for that. I'll never forget a face. I shall be fine. A hero of the frontier. Over the last few days, I heard a tale of a mighty hero of the peasantry who has won hearts and minds of the common people through incredible deeds in Manchestersbury. This hero goes by the name Besmer, and has been defending the small folk from the Russian raiders, and has now traveled the way to Visegrad to seek an audience with me. There is no doubt Besmer is a great hero. However, my court are adamant that I do not elevate a commoner beyond their station. Oh, good lord! Well, it doesn't matter because I'm a public figurehead. And I couldn't thought of this idea, because I really want this man, but I don't have the money. I'm gonna do something stupid. You're an imperative peasant, nothing more. I'll lose the stress because I'm humble and arbitrary. He'll lose some opinion of me, but the vassals will gain opinion of me. He'll still be pleased. Hey, welcome to the army, kid. I still have that Avar tradition. Anyways, celebrating another culture. My vassal, Kanun Mutlu, approaches me, chewing loudly on a biscuit. Like she often does. Gluttonous. My lord, I have a brilliant idea. How about we host a fair, or perceive it a festival for the common folk to expose it to one of the different cultures in our beautiful kingdom. Once it explains her idea further, until she realizes she's dangerously close to overexploiting. It'll cost money, but I'm sure it'll help foster a more positive relationship between our people. What, the Vlach? The Sorokan Kyrgyz? I don't know those people, so I cannot spend resources on this. You'll be disappointed in this. And my business here is done. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end the episode on that note. So, Court Grandeur is level 10 now. We've reached the max, but that's only going to be temporary. Everything is grand here and all that. So it's the best that we could do for the Royal Court here and all that. But in the next episode, the nation building will continue, as we now use Greek as a court or administrative language in recognition of our friendship with Byzantium and as a way to one day hybridize with them, hybridize a culture with them, a Greco-Avar that could potentially be formed, unless I come up with some other name. Who knows? But still, I hope you people have enjoyed this episode, because we're back to our focus and we're gonna make more money here. More temples, more cities to be built, and a few areas that I personally own and all that, then more. But until then, so long for now.